It's okay to outsource your accounting. It's okay to outsource your HR, but you cannot outsource growth to someone else. As a business owner, as a CEO, as the
Grabe.
founder of the business,
Grabe.
you are in charge of growing the business. The reason why your business is not growing is because you're not growing. My team and I really put in the best effort that we could. We created a marketing strategy for them, and within 2 months pa lang, that business was able to generate about $40,000.
Bakit marami ngayon ang nagta-transition talaga sa freelancing or working from home?
I think because
What's one biggest mistake you have already made in your career as a agency owner or freelancer?
I think the biggest mistake that I made was
This is Money Masters, where true stories spark real change.
Guys, may pera ba talaga sa bahay? You can work from home at the same time earn dollars kung yan ang gusto mo. Nako, kailangan panoorin nyo tong episode na ito. A proud Ilonggo as one of the OGs in freelancing in the Philippines, hailing from Iloilo, syempre, he started from nothing. May laptop, may grit, at the same time may pangarap to work anywhere. Through years of education, consistent learning, and helping others to grow. Right now, he's the proud owner of Block 10 na nagbibigay po ng digital marketing sa mga foreigners at the same time locals alike. So kung gusto niyo matuto kung paano talaga tayo kumita while at home, let us welcome the founder and CEO of Block 10, no other than Patrick Mabilog. Oh, palakpakan natin si Patrick. Ay,
thank you, Coach.
thank you very much, Patrick, for the opportunity.
Of course, pleasure is mine. Thank you for having me.
Actually, Patrick is his real name, but we fondly call him Kiko. Why
Yes.
Kiko?
Di ko alam.
Oh, for those who haven't met you, kunyari, if you have to introduce yourself, oh, what do you do? Ano sinasabi mo parati?
That's actually a really hard question because normally when people ask what you do, parang may one word agad.
Oo.
You are an engineer, a businessman, but what I really like telling people is I'm just in the business of helping people grow their
Wow.
businesses.
Wow.
That's what we love to do.
And
Yeah.
then, ang question, syempre, how do you help people grow their
Yes.
business?
Yes, that's normally the next question, which right now actually, specifically yung sa business po namin, yung Block 10 strategy. We do it through digital marketing services. So right now yung focus po namin is social media, search engine optimization, paid ads, and website services. Pero kasi yung mga services na yun also has evolved through time. Kasi depende din kung ano yung strategy na talagang nag-work sa ngayon.
Yeah. Alam mo, yan isang problema ng karamihan ng tao. Pero bago natin pag-usapan yan, let's talk about yung hustle mo as a freelancer. How did it all
Yes.
start?
Yeah, it started very early in the game. So, like you said po, Coach, I was one of the OGs in freelancing. I started back in 2009. And during that time, hindi pa ganun ka malaki yung mga freelancing platforms. People didn't really have a lot. Yung only option that you would get paid before was PayPal. Yun lang yung option mo. So, during that time, I started in graphic design. So, nagla-layout po ako ng graphics for social media. Yung time na yun, yung Facebook was very new. So, kukonti pa lang yung naghahanap talaga ng social media marketing people. But during that time, it was on the rise. And then I started moving into video, and then slowly a little bit also into website design.
Yeah.
When I started during that time, I was also starting my family, so I got married very early. I was only 22 years old, trying to make ends meet. Yung freelancing, honestly, was just a way to help me augment my income at the beginning.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I can remember, I think I was one of your first client.
Yes, actually, you were, yes, the second client that I had.
Second.
Yes.
Oh, siya, imagine mo na sa college mo siya during that time. Nag-edit ng mga videos and gumagawa ng mga graphics ko. That was around 17 years ago. Amazing. So, itong path na ito, plinano mo ba talaga or it just grew out of necessity?
I think a little bit of both. Kasi yung path ko before, I really wanted to get into something creative. That was for sure. Kasi from a young age, nung simula pa lang, I really wanted something that had an artistic expression. Pero yung nga lang, nung time na I was in school, usually, yung mga opportunities lang na alam na natin nung time na yon in the 90s was being an architect, either being a fine artist. Hindi pa ganun kamalaki talaga yung digital space. And then, I came at a very opportune time kasi during the height talaga of the growth of the internet boom, naghahanap na namang yung ng advertising and marketing professionals for digital specifically. Kasi during that time, like you said, Coach, I live in the province. So kung gusto mong kumuha ng job sa marketing, you have to move to Manila. So that was the big challenge. And I didn't want to do that because I love my life in the province.
Yeah.
Pero nung nagsimula yung online work, all of a sudden, you can get clients and work with those clients without having to move to the big city.
Yeah.
And that was a
Galing.
big opportunity.
Galing. Pero ano yun naman, syempre, yung pinag-usapan natin, work from home, freelancing. And I was actually one of the advocates, no?
Yes.
I'm promoting. Sinabi ko nga, right now, yung team namin, we have at least, how many na tayo employees sa, sa Team
More than
Positive?
50?
Yeah, mga 50 na. 50, imagine mo, virtual assistants. Pero marami pa rin, right now, ang medyo resistant to work from home setup or freelancing. What's the biggest misconception about it?
I think one of the challenges that people face talaga, which is may basis naman, is kasi hindi kayo nagkikita physically, it can be hard to collaborate sometimes, especially when you're not used to work from home setups. So there are also questions about how do we build better communication channels, which yun nga po, Coach, since I really saw the team grow from almost at the start, no. That was something that we really fixed from day one. Naalala ko pa yung sinabi niyo, Coach, is na communication is really one of the big core values that we have in our team. And so that's something that a lot of companies right now still struggle with. How do you communicate? Kailangan ba may Zoom every morning? Or do you really have to be in front of the computer from 9 to 5? And so sometimes, because people don't have a clear path for like, okay, ano yung communication channel natin? What is our SOP here? That can be a big challenge. But I think one, like specifically for our business, Block 10 Strategy, me and my wife started that business with the intention talaga that we did not want to have a 9 to 5. Because it was very important to us that we would build a business that will adjust to our life, not the other way around. And in the same way, we wanted na ganun din yung magiging experience ng team members namin.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, isang biggest misconception din. Babayaran mo, wala namang gagawin, magde-Netflix lang sa bahay yan.
Yes.
Di ba? Yun din
Correct.
isang
Correct.
isang
Yeah.
concern. So, paano natin matatanggal yung ganong klaseng mindset?
Well, I think when it comes to working from home kasi, it's true na yung productivity kasi, the team that you build has to really be self-motivated talaga. Na kahit hindi mo talaga, chine-check every single minute, even though hindi ka talaga nandun physically kasama niya, but the person can still work independently. And I think it still goes back talaga sa culture na sineset natin sa team. Do we empower them to make decisions kahit hindi tayo available or hindi tayo reachable? Are we constantly equipping them so that they can also learn how to be more productive kahit nasa bahay lang sila? Kasi totoo naman talaga, kung nasa bahay ka, wala kang boundary kumbaga when it comes to work and home. So yun yung isang challenge. But there are avenues then and there are ways for you to be able to set those boundaries. Yun nga lang, the company also has to or the leader of the company, talagang may effort talaga on your end dapat to also set that tone for them and equip them, train them, give them access to courses that will teach them to be productive kahit nasa bahay.
So, importante kasi sa organization na ganito is yung tinatawag na self-manage. They need to learn how to manage themselves. So, Patrick, what was your childhood? Are you really a writer, a blogger, a dreamer? Ano ba? Nung bata ka?
My mom was a fine artist, so she was a painter, and my father was a pastor. And so that exposure gave me the best of two worlds when it comes to communication. Kasi yung father ko, kasi pastor siya, preacher, he can really communicate clearly through words and also through writing. And then yung mother ko po was good at really communicating visually through graphics. And so yung
Combination nila.
combination nun, sobrang swak talaga siya sa line of work na pinasukan ko kasi as the head of the organization, I still really take the time to check the output of our team. Although meron ng graphic designers, meron ng writers, but in the beginning, you don't have a team. You have to do it all yourself. So nung simula, it was just me and Ces, my wife. We were doing the graphics ourselves. We were doing the writing. And so that was the exposure. Yung childhood ko was really good kasi my parents also were very supportive when it came to allowing me to express myself in the passions that I had.
So, in terms of ano naman, yung working from, yun nga, as a virtual assistant, 'di ba? How did, yun nga, your work shape yung family life nyo? Kasi you mentioned kasi na talagang intentionally na gusto mo talagang ganun yung lifestyle, no? So, paano nyo sinet up yan?
It was not easy for sure. That's the first thing I would probably say. Talagang may effort. Kasi normally when you think negosyante, sinasabi nga nila yung joke is na, oh, lumabas ka nga sa 9 to 5 pero biglang naging 24/7 yung career mo because a lot of business owners are on call. Hindi naman pwedeng, okay, yung client mo tumawag ng 9 p.m. Hindi mo sasagutin because you're now the head of the business and you're the face. And so in the beginning actually, I think that when you're starting a business, talagang normal na you really have to work hard and work long hours. Pero there really came a point, I think it was around 2 to 3 years ago, na parang my wife and I, we took the time to reflect and decide, okay, ano yung gusto natin na direction talaga for the company and for our lives. Especially during that time kasi we found out that our because we had 2 kids and then later on we found out that our youngest daughter had autism level 1. And so that meant that we had to give her more time, more attention. And so we had to make a decision and say that we need to build a business that serves us, not the other way around. And so I think 2 things that started off really. Number 1 was setting very clear systems in the business. Para yung negosyo tumatakbo kahit wala ka. And so, yun, we just came from a trip to Japan. We spent 10 days there. And I only check my phone maybe once or twice a day.
Wow.
Because the team is running. And I think when you talk about system, yes, there has to be the technical systems, who's going to take the meetings, kailan tayo magsasabit ng reports sa clients, but there also has to be culture systems. Making it clear to them, how do you make decisions? What are the reasons behind the decisions that you make? So that's the first thing. Secondly is, it really goes back to you as the founder of the company. Kasi as co-founders, kami ng Mrs. Co-coach, we really are opposites. Si Ces loves to play, I love to work. So, I think that tandem also helped with the business kasi parang in some way or another, we created a strong balance naman. When it's time to work, it's time to work. And then if it's time to play, then it's time to really enjoy.
Yeah, alam mo kagandahan kasi ganito, guys. Kung kayo ay mag-uumpisa ng kahit anong negosyo, mas maganda na yung buuin mo yung negosyo na rarapat kung ano yung gusto mong pamumuhay. Diba, katulad ko, this is a home studio. I record my video at this studio at my house. So, medyo homebody po tayo. So, mas maganda, diba, kung sa setup ka na talagang naaayon kung ano yung pamumuhay mo. Kaysa i-uproot mo yung sarili mo sa isang bagay para kumita ka lang, pero hindi naman tatagal kasi hindi siya sustainable.
Yes.
So, I think that is one of the reason also, right?
Correct.
And then, ito pa. Bakit marami ngayon ang nagta-transition talaga sa freelancing or working from home?
I think because, one, people see that there's really income behind it. Yun talaga that's the first thing. I think the most obvious but has to be said. May pera talaga sa freelancing. Is it easier than it was before? Definitely not. Kasi mas malaki na talaga yung competition ngayon. So, I think I came at a very good time nung pasimula pa lang yung freelancing. So, hindi pa ganun kadami talaga yung competition. I think the second thing I would say is because it gives you yun nga yung freedom of time. And that's one thing for me personally is very important. So on top of running an agency ngayon po kasi coach, I also started a coaching business. And so my coaching business is what I try to teach to people is how to also have time for the things that matter to you, not just career, money, professional growth rather. And I think that if you're a freelancer, or more specifically, if you have a digital business, it allows you to do that. First thing is you have financial freedom. Secondly is you have time freedom. But I think third, and this one is also very enticing to many people, is yung location freedom. Yung nga po, kasi like kami, we live in the province, we can choose the slow life. Walang traffic, hindi ganun ka mahal yung talagang
Cost of
basic
living.
cost of living, basic needs is quite affordable. And so it allows us to save more, to invest more, reinvest in the business, invest in other ventures. And so kapag freelancer ka or kung meron kang digital business, you have that freedom.
Yeah, alam niyo ang kagandahan dito guys. Ito, imagine mo, kung magta-travel ka lang ng 2 hours papasok, 2 hours pabalik per day sa work, 4 hours times 20 days, that's 80 hours divided by 24 hours. That's more than 3 days in a month you're stuck in the
Wow.
traffic. Times 12 months, that's 36 months. That's 1 month in a year. Imagine mo. And not only that, lalabas ka. Kailangan mo ng pamasahin. Hindi lang oras na nawala. Kung 200 pesos a day times 20, that's 400, that's 48,000 in a year na save mo. On top of that, yung pagsuot mo, yung hindi ka na bibili ng wardrobe, tapos pagkain, hindi ka na rin bibili ng kape sa labas. So kung makikita mo, ang dami talagang tinatawag na freedom when it comes to freelancing. Kaya marami na po talaga ang lumilipat. Siyempre naman, to every good story and good ending, meron naman mga challenges na dinadaanan. Sana all na ganun kagaganda. Pero what were the challenges when you were starting the freelancing business and opportunity?
The biggest challenge, especially since we started quite early, is wala pang system in place for protecting the freelancers. One good example is kung paano tayo binabayaran ng clients. And so marami po kaming clients before coach na talagang hindi nagbayad.
Oh,
So may mga times na sumulat, there was one client for example na sumulat ako ng buong libro. So I wrote a whole book for one client. Tapos yung binayaran, one chapter lang.
Wow.
Yung first payment lang.
grabe.
So the risk would be probably number one.
Okay.
But I think also number two is kasi yung freelancing, depending on kung saan ka papasok, kasi pag sinabing freelancing, ang lawak na ngayon
Oo.
ng world na yun eh. Pwede kang pumasok sa social media, video, admin, lahat, accounting, especially when you're in the creative space, medyo pa-season din minsan. There are times na maraming clients, there are times na hindi din masyadong okay yung flow in ng client. So, when we were starting, especially the first 3 years, there were really months na talagang kulang yung pumapasok
Na income.
na income. Yes. Pero I
Wow.
think the good thing was because we started early, my wife and I, we decided talaga that we're going to live as simple as possible so that we can build an emergency fund. So, yung kagandahan lang po kasi yung setup namin ni Ses is we decided every time na may months tayo na malaki yung pasok ng project saka ng ng income, then we set aside as much as we can so that on the lean season we will be prepared.
Yeah.
And kahit negative tayo on that month, we still have money to pay for the day-to-day expenses.
Yan ang tinatawag nating emergency fund, di ba?
Correct.
So, ano yung parang toughest financial at emotional struggle mo? I'm sure, di ba? I'm say, pag wala ka na pambayad, di ba?
Yeah.
Ano yung mga emotional na stress?
Yeah, I think the first one that really hit me the hardest was when we had our first born, yung first daughter po namin, si Alexa. We had her when we were 23 years old. So, and yung nga, kasi we grew up in the church, yung tinuro po sa amin is we have to live and cleave. And kung meron kang anak na parating, then that child is now your responsibility in all aspects. training them, raising them, and paying for their bills. So when Ces gave birth, na emergency CS po, I did not prepare for it.
Oh.
And so what happened was we had to we got into debt. So kulang po yung fund namin during that time. I had to work hard. So the first few months we would non-stop talaga like get clients and then we would work till 2 a.m. in the morning. But I think there was one night talaga na parang I think it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning na. Tas hindi pa ako tapos sa work ko. And then si Ces came out and she basically said, it's time for you to rest already. And I said, kung pwede sana, but we have bills to pay. We have to chase after this credit card debt.
Oh no.
And she said something that was so powerful to me. Hanggang ngayon, it still really resonates.
Ano
to
sinabi
me.
niya?
Yung sabi ni Ces sa akin, yes, you are my provider to an extent. Pero yung pinaka-provider ng bahay na to is si Lord pa rin.
Wow.
And that really hit hard for me kasi I realized, oh nga pala, yes, you wanna work hard, especially if you're a business owner, especially if you're a freelancer. Pero it still goes back to si Lord pa rin yung nagbigay sa atin ng opportunity na to. And He will see us through.
So, syempre, okay, that's the struggle. Pero, alam mo, guys, lalo kung nagpa-freelance ka, makaka-relate ka eh. Minsan, when it rains, it pours, bigla na lang, mawalan ka ng kliyente, back to zero ka na naman. Pero, sa yugto ng buhay natin, pag di ka talaga bumigay, darating ang panahon, you'll become successful. So, ang question is, when did you realize that what you're doing in terms of freelancing is not anymore just a side hustle? Seryoso na to. Kailan?
Yeah, so funny that you say that, Coach, kasi ikaw po yung nag-suggest sa akin na talagang ibigay ng todo yung business na to. I don't know if you remember that, nag-Zoom tayo, sabi mo, go all in. It looks like it's a good opportunity. And the reason why I saw that was, well, number one, is because there was a mentor who really coached us and said, okay, mukhang this is the best opportunity for you. I think also on a more practical sense, kasi yung income ng side hustle, namamatch na yung salary mo. And naka-cover na yung expenses mo. And then, also at the same time, yung emergency fund meron na. So we already had around, I would say around 6 months worth of emergency fund during that time. So mukhang kaya na, we can make that leap. And then I think the last thing was, because we saw that we were already able to, parang in some way or another, medyo kilala na kami sa space. So there was a reputation already. There was a brand na pag sinabing, okay, itong service na to, yung kailangan natin, let's approach Block 10 strategy.
So, sa Block 10, okay, very important. Ano yung talaga yung specifically na, give me one study case na natulungan nyo sa Block 10?
You mean a client?
Yeah.
One client that we really helped was isang software company. So, yung software company nung pumasok kami, startup talaga. So, it was, it did not exist yet. So, kinuha yung services namin to really launch the business. It was an HR software. And nung simula, parang talagang, it was, we had a business plan in place. Pero talagang, hindi namin alam kung mag-fly talaga siya. But cut the long story short, my team and I really put in the best effort that we could. We created a marketing strategy for them, which included SEO, paid ads, and social media. And within 2 months pa lang, that business was able to generate about $40,000 in sales.
Wow.
Yeah.
Grabe. Amazing. So, syempre, a freelancer, work from home, right now, you own a digital agency right now. How did this help you to become a leader? And, how did it help you to become a better person?
Yeah, interesting, Coach, na you bring that up. Kasi, from day one talaga, I never saw myself as talagang a business owner. Kasi, takot po ako na ako yung in charge. Na, like, okay, if I'm in charge of my own work, kayang-kaya. And I think a lot of VAs po, tsaka freelancers, nasa stuck talaga income-wise because of that. Kasi, mas okay kung ako na lang yung gagawa ng lahat. And so, normally, kapag freelancer ka, VA ka, you get multiple clients, pero iisa ka lang. And you think to yourself na, well, kasi mas malaki yung uwian mo na income. But I think the biggest like turning point for the business was when we made our first hire. Isang hire lang yan, coach. Tapos super duper part-time pa. Kasi yung binayad namin sa VA na yon was just for I think 5 hours a week lang. Just to help me to schedule posts on social media, ganun. But when we made that first hire, we were able to double our income in 2 months' time. Kasi all of a sudden, na-realize ko talaga, pag may team ka, talagang yung synergy ng team. You're able to multiply your efforts.
Yeah. Uy guys, ito warning lang sa mga lahat ng mga nag-uumpisa ng negosyo. Pag nag-umpisa ka, definitely ikaw lahat. Ikaw ang gagawa. Para malaman mo, at the same time, you can save on money. But once you start earning money, yun yung ginawa nila. Ang ginawa na nila, they start already to do BBT. Again, BBT. It means buyback time. Kasi nga, pag hindi mo binili pabalik ang oras mo, you become an employee of your own company. Ikaw lahat ang gagawa. Hindi ka pwedeng magbakasyon. Hindi ka pwedeng, di ba, magkasakit. Pero once you have already people under your team running it for you and helping you, so you can do, number 1, magbakasyon ka. Number 2, you can grow the brand. You can grow the, find more new clients. And talking about that, syempre, magaganda yung mga sinasabi natin, no? Wow, $2 million pesos in 2 months time, di ba? Pero in all businesses may mistakes. What's one biggest mistake you have already made in your career as a agency owner or freelancer?
I think the biggest mistake that I made was this year. And that mistake was kasi nag-hire po kami ng isang agency din to help us to grow the business, meaning to get more clients. And I think that I wanted to do that kasi nakita ko rin na okay, there's something na alam ng agency na to na hindi ko alam, and so I wanted to learn that. Pero hindi siya nag-work. So
Why?
we ended up paying hundreds of thousands of pesos. Hindi siya nag-work.
Bakit?
And then I talked to another coach after. Ito yung coach din na that helped us with the business. Hindi naman growth yung more on the mentality of the business owner talaga. Yung sabi kasi sa akin is the reason why you're trying to outsource the growth of your business is takot ka. You're afraid. Because you're afraid that ito yung limit mo sa business owner. And so I think that was a big eye-opener for me. Kasi doon ko talaga na-realize as a business owner kung gaano ka-importante yung growth mindset.
Oh.
It's okay to outsource like your accounting. It's okay to outsource your HR. But you cannot outsource growth to someone else. As a business owner, as a CEO, as the
Grabe.
founder of the business,
Grabe.
you are in charge of growing the business.
Alam nyo, di ba parang yan yung tinatawag na i-delegate mo, di ba? May mga bagay na pwede mo i-delegate, pero may mga bagay na hindi mo pwede i-delegate. Like for example, pagdadrive, pwede mo i-delegate, di ba? Or if not naman, pagluluto, pwede mo i-delegate, di ba? Or paglilinis ng bahay, pwede mo i-delegate. Pero yung pag-date sa asawa mo, hindi mo pwede i-delegate, di ba? Imagine mo, mag-hire ka ng tao, pwede mo i-date mo na asawa ko. Hindi, tama.
Totoo.
Likewise, in growing a business,
Yes.
hindi mo siya pwedeng i-delegate.
Hindi Yeah.
Oh.
The strategy still comes from you. So what do you do then? I think one thing that really helped me to bring the business to the next level was to invest in personal development.
Okay.
Kasi if you grow as a founder, as a person, then yung business mo will also grow. Nakita ko yung pinaka-lead talaga ng negosyo ko. I realized because yun nga, yung sabi ng isang mentor that I hired doon sa personal development side, sabi sa akin that the reason why your business is not growing is because you're not growing anymore. Kaya na-realize ko talaga that time na okay, hindi pwede na as a business owner sabihin mo na okay na to. I have already learned enough. I already know a lot kasi successful na yung negosyo ko. Marami na kaming clients, marami na kaming staff. No, it's like you really have to go in and say, beginner pa ako. Simula pa lang to. And you continue to invest more in increasing not just your knowledge. Yung nga kasi yung knowledge is just part of it, pero yung mindset talaga. Maraming mga limiting beliefs pa that can hold you back as a CEO, as a business owner. Na if you break that, mas lalo pang lalaki yung negosyo mo.
You won't believe what happens next. Type part 2 if you want more.
Alam mo, coach, yung pinaka-addictive na bagay sa buong mundo.
Ano?
Sweldo. Why? Because you realize someone is paying you to give up on your own dreams. There was even one point where talagang literally nag-collapse yung lungs ko because of overwork. Yes, so I was hospitalized for 3 weeks. Kasi yung cellphone, kahit 1% or 100%, pareho pa rin yung performance.
Oo.
Kapag tao, hindi eh.
Oo.
Kung malapit ka na sa 10%, nako, pagod ka na. Your strategies are not as good as you want it to be. And so we have to realize we're not machines. And so normally when people put a limit on themselves, actually, yung pinaka-source ng limit na yun, hindi yung ibang tao, yung sarili mo. Because you believe in the lie. And so if you believe in the lie that you cannot succeed, that you cannot get to the next level, it's not other people that's stopping you. It's yourself.
Chinky Tan, with over 6 million Facebook followers, 2.8 million YouTube subscribers, and 2.4 million TikTok fans, is now all out to share with you the most practical, simplest path to lasting wealth.